Why did the narcissist choose me? Why did the narcissist choose you? And why the hell has the narcissist chosen the person that they're with at the moment? None of it makes sense. So, guys, you're very welcome to this channel, narcscon. And today we're going to dig deep into this subject to get the answers that we need, because so many people ask this question, particularly in relation to the next person the narcissist chooses to have an intimate relationship with in particular, because it doesn't actually add up for the person who's asking that question. The person they choose seems so at odds with everything that the narcissist said they valued and liked, and so very different to you as well. And it's one of the questions, one of the many questions we're left with at the end of a relationship with a narcissist. And you deserve to have answers, because the narcissist takes pleasure in not answering questions and in not giving closure and in confusing and causing chaos, which is their modus operandi, and it's the type of atmosphere or situation that the narcissist operates in best, the ever-changing chameleon type situation. So just before we delve into this subject of why the narcissist choose me or you, anyone that wants to get more notifications in relation to the podcasts that are coming out, there's a little bell you click to get notifications. And if you click it and click all notifications, you have a better chance of getting the podcasts that I post, usually twice a week. I know some people have said that they're not receiving them. So that's just something I didn't know when I started on YouTube. So just a bit of information for you. Click that notification bell if you do want more podcasts coming up in your feed. Right. Why do narcissists choose people? How do they choose people? What criteria do they use? The main thing that drives a narcissist choice of a particular person they may have gone off to directly from your relationship is their current situation. That's the main criteria for the next choice of person. And I'm going to give you then 10 reasons as to how or what criteria they use in choosing a longer term supply. So there are 3 types of supply or person. It's a terrible word for a narcissist partner, but essentially a person to a narcissist is merely narcissistic supply and used to regulate their emotions and provide them with other benefits. So if the narcissist has had to jump from you very quickly, if you were putting in boundaries, they needed to maintain control or control the situation and they had to jump quickly. The first source of supply that a narcissist will look for is transitionary supply, if they haven't embedded somebody who would be a potential long-term partner. So this is a person that they will jump onto, and it's often termed in this community as monkey branching too. This person, may blow your mind. You may go, oh my, how can they choose that person? It doesn't make any sense to you. And some people actually will say that the person that they jumped to was, in their view, a downgrade on the narcissist's usual choice and situation, etc. So this transitionary supply can also be a family member, and it can also be a big re-involvement with their children, who they also use for supply. So if you don't see said narcissist jumping to a new romantic partner, they may be using family members and hopping around different people to keep the bed warm, so to speak. So for those particular physical functions and for other narcissistic supply, they may chop and change partners in and out casually and use the family as the main source of transitionary supply. Now, the reason you probably came to this podcast was, well, what criteria does a narcissist actually use to choose a long-term partner? And understanding that, if you look at these 10 reasons, go back to your own situation, and put your situation against any of these 10 reasons, you then have the answer to, or at least a generalized answer to, why the narcissist picked you in particular at this particular given time. So there are two main pillars or stalwarts or foundations of these 10 characteristics. And the two main parts go along hand in hand with these characteristics. One is the next person has to be easy to control and has to be easy to isolate, which is an interesting one. Has to be easy to isolate, and I'm going to do a whole podcast on that. So control and isolate. And then if they have all of these 10 characteristics, that's absolutely fantastic for the narcissist. But even if they have these 10 criteria, if they don't meet the two main foundations, that they're easy to control and easy to isolate, then they're too much work for a narcissist, and a narcissist is just not going to get involved. They're only going to put a certain amount of effort in for a big bang for their buck, so to speak. They will look for the best benefits in a person, the fact that they're easy to control, easy to isolate, which means their manipulations will work better with this person, and most of the next 10 characteristics. They're the main reasons a narcissist picks a new supply, or chooses you, or may have chosen you. So let's get into the characteristics, given those two foundations that topple all of these. These have to be in place. You have to be easy to control in the narcissist mind, and you have to be easy to isolate in that you'd go anywhere or do anything for the narcissist. Number one, money and property. If you can bring or add to the narcissist's purse, this is going to be a huge advantage, and there would have to be a hell of a lot of advantages if you came to the narcissist with debt or poor. There'd have to be a lot of other advantages to you. So this is, in my opinion, this is one of the main things a narcissist will look for in a new supply that they're going to consider as a long-term partner, or as long a term as a narcissist will stay with you, or as long as you stay under the narcissist's control. Number two, if you bring to the narcissist status, so that the narcissist has easier access to a wider social circle, and hopefully an elevated social circle. So hopefully somewhere that they can do a bit of social climbing, and maybe in that regard, monkey branch on to someone even higher in your social circle or of higher status. So this is a climbing exercise. If you can provide this as well, or the new supply can provide this as well, this is a big bonus. Number three, the narcissist, this is feeding into the easy to isolate person. The narcissist likes the person to have little encumberment. In other words, better if you don't have children. They will put up with children or responsibilities you have if the other criteria, are there and they see it as a worthwhile exception, and that there's no one else better than you at that present moment in time. Everything is weighed and measured with a narcissist. Their situation, what you bring to the table, how easy you are to control, how easy you are to isolate, and whether there's anyone else better or available on the scene. Number four, super empathic people. Definitely. Definitely. The narcissist is looking for someone who's superly empathic human being, because they're literally like a full vending machine. They're going to pump out more for the narcissist. It's going to be juicy supply, and the narcissist is going to have a field day manipulating a person who is superly empathic. It works on all levels for a narcissist. Looks. Yeah, great. If you're, you can bring looks to the table, and people are going to be envious of the said narcissist, Mr. or Mrs. Narcissist. You're going to be arm candy. You're going to be handsome, beautiful, good looking. Of course, that's a bonus to the narcissist, as they feel entitled and superior to be with the best of the best of the best of people. So don't ever listen to the narcissist's devaluation when they're leaving you, because they chose you. They chose you for a reason, and this is one of them. The next, number 6, I have as a criteria for the narcissist in choosing you would be your vulnerability. If you have a particular vulnerability at that moment in time, you may have had a long-term relationship. This happens so often. Your partner may have died. You may be grieving. You may have gotten over an illness recently. You may have lost a family member. When you're vulnerable, you may be lonely. You may be just beginning to get back into the dating scene. This is when those creatures, is what I would call them because they lack humanity, will pounce on you. So vulnerability is another criteria for a narcissist. Vulnerability makes you very easy to control and manipulate because they will hone in on your vulnerability. They also like, and this might surprise you, they like an adventurous person. Because if you're adventurous and you're open, you're going to be easier to entertain, to hook on the love bomb. They're going to be able to open up loads of exciting things to you to get you hooked and for you to associate the pleasure hormones with the narcissist, even though you probably could have and would have and should have done these things yourself. But the narcissist will use your adventurousness to a great advantage, and it'll also make you much more open to suggestion because you've decided that you will keep an open mind on things and you like to try new things. This is an ideal source of supply for a narcissist. Number 8, you have a generous nature. Again, this goes hand in hand with being an empathic person. Your generosity of nature and spirit is going to serve the narcissist extremely well. What the narcissist will try and do is get you to turn that generous spirit and generosity of being onto them so that they can reap the rewards of such generosity, and they will put you off. This is again the isolating thing. They will put you off being generous to other people because essentially they will want it all. But you being generous is a huge advantage. Number 9, you're a hard worker. You're a hard worker, and don't even dream of giving in to when the narcissist is kicking you out or kicking you to touch and leaving you and saying you're lazy. That is a projection. They picked you because you were a hard worker, you had determination, you were prepared to put out for the narcissist, you were prepared to do more than your fair share, you brought in more money than they did, you did 2 jobs where they did maybe stayed at home and did none. And I know everyone's situation is different. There are some narcissists in employment that bring in a lot of money, but the general modus operandi of a narcissist is to do the least amount of work and to take from other people and to have the most amount of gain. It's a hard worker. And the 10th reason may surprise you. Your spirituality will really, really attract a narcissist. Because while they don't agree with your spirituality and maybe your loyalty to God and your beliefs, they know that if you are a godly person, that they're going to be able to manipulate you more by using your beliefs against you. They're going to ask for your compassion, your forgiveness, and your help, all in the name of your religious belief and your belief in God. And they're going to use that against you and saying, you're not a very generous person, you're not compassionate, I thought that you were meant to be this good person, etc. So I know you get the picture. Your spirituality is a real tool for the narcissist to use. And the final aspect of that is the narcissist is based on the anti-spirit, the antichrist, the ways of deception, the ways of stealing, the ways of abusing, the ways of destroying, and the ways of creating chaos. And your spirituality is actually a challenge to them. Your spirituality is actually a very juicy part of them taking you down. Because if they can prove to you that you're not all that, and that, well, where is your God now? And look at the state of you wanting to be with me after all the things you've said I've done wrong. So who's the goody good two shoes now? And where is your belief system now? And in putting your beliefs down and in getting you into a very vulnerable position when they cruelly discard you, having groomed you and devalued you and confused you for quite a long time, they feel that sense of superiority because they were able to take one of the good ones down. And it's all in their mind, your way is a rubbish way. It's not a way to live. And they're the ones that know it all. They're the ones who succeed in life. And they're the ones who are going to thrive, despite the fact that every time they get into a relationship, they fail, despite the fact that they have so many different karmas coming towards them, so many consequences to their appalling behavior. They need in the moment to feel that they have conquered you and your spirituality. It's only after the event, when you have had time to recover and when you go on to thrive, that they can't stand to look at that. They can't stand to look at you or be reminded of you. And if they don't come back to try and take you down again, they will want nothing to do with you at that stage, because this is a very important aspect of what attracts a narcissist to you, to pick you. And it's also an important aspect of what will eventually get a narcissist to leave you well alone. So I think that's an important one. And I don't think it's probably talked about an awful lot as to why a narcissist would choose you. Thank you guys for listening. And I will be back again very soon with a new podcast from myself and from a very sleepy Remy. I'll bid you adieu.